In other words, the answer is yes, but they don't want to say it because they're gutless.
Have you gotten the booster?
During an interview on the far right-wing network One American News, Donald Trump took shots at gutless Republican lawmakers. Check this out.
Do you reconsider your push for it, or what's your view now on the vaccine in general?
Well, I've taken it. I've had the booster. Many politicians, I watched a couple of politicians be interviewed, and one of the questions was, did you get the booster? Because they had the vaccine. And they're answering it like, in other words, the answer is yes, but they don't want to say it. Because they're gutless. You got to say it. Whether you had it or not, say it. Right. But the fact is that I think the vaccine has saved tens of millions of people throughout the world. Okay. I have had absolutely no side effects. I've had it like other people have had it, nothing special. I've had it.
Do you feel for the millions of Americans who have it, though? There's over 100 million that haven't taken it yet, and they have questions, especially younger people with the myocarditis and things.
I don't think young, healthy people should take it.
All right, so in a minute here, I will tell you who Trump is talking about specifically, which gutless Republican he is referring to, and there is a reason he is doing this. But before I get there, let me quickly address the misinformation in this clip around young people, and also earlier in that clip, I didn't show it, but the host brings up how the VAERS data is showing all these side effects. VAERS is not reliable. I'll tell you why with a very clear example in a bit here. But first, on the myocarditis part of this, myocarditis, more common after COVID-19 than vaccination, large study finds. This was a huge study of health data from more than 880,000 people. 880,000, you can't get a bigger study than this. So this data shows that an extra 2.7 cases of myocarditis per 100,000 vaccinated people compared to the unvaccinated group. However, the risk was much higher among people who contracted COVID-19 at 11 cases per 100,000 compared to those who hadn't been infected, the findings showed. So there you go. If you're worried about myocarditis and the vaccine, you have a much higher chance at getting this with COVID-19 than with the vaccine. Now, on the issue of VAERS, again, really quickly here to show you how this data is completely unreliable. This is from back in 2005, so well before these new vaccines. Dr. James R. Laidler wrote, quote, "The chief problem with the VAERS data is that reports can be entered by anyone and are not routinely verified. To demonstrate this, a few years ago, I entered a report that an influenza vaccine had turned me into the Hulk. The report was accepted and entered into the database." So VAERS, you can self-report anything. So you cannot trust the VAERS data when it comes to the impact of the vaccines. Now, let's get to who Trump was talking about with this clip that will become very clear as to this was the man Trump was referring to.
Have you gotten the booster?
So I've done whatever I did, the normal shot, and that at the end of the day is people's individual decisions about what they want to do.
So yes, Donald Trump was talking about Ron DeSantis. Gutless Ron DeSantis not being clear about whether or not he got the booster. That interview was on Fox News about a month ago. Clearly, Trump talking about him, which led to stories like this. Why won't Ron DeSantis say if he's been boosted? Of course, it's because he understands the base and a lot of the misinformation that is present within the conservative base. So he's trying to play to that, obviously. Now, there's a reason why Trump is going after Ron DeSantis specifically here, because Trump is seeing his support drop while Ron DeSantis rise. So this from September, Trump support drops 20 points as Ron DeSantis surges to tie a new 2024 poll. And other polls show similar results here. This is from June. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis edges out Donald Trump in Western Conservative Summit's presidential straw poll. So in some polls, DeSantis is actually over Donald Trump. Trump don't like that. So now he is, in a roundabout way, he's not being specific yet, but he's in a roundabout way calling Ron DeSantis gutless by not admitting that he got the booster shot. And from CNN Politics here, though the two remain in regular contact, Trump has become increasingly irritated at DeSantis' refusal to publicly dismiss a 2024 bid of his own if the former president himself decides to run. Two people close to the situation said DeSantis has privately assured Trump and others that he has no intention of challenging him in a GOP presidential primary, but they noted that Trump won't be fully satisfied until the governor says so publicly. So this is what Trump is worried about. Trump right now still hasn't decided whether or not he will run in 2024, but he sees DeSantis right now as the rising star in the party, potentially outflanking him and is worried. So you have here, in an amazing twist, Donald Trump actually saying some accurate things about the vaccine, about the booster, how it's helped people, how it's saved lives, but then it goes to misinformation about young people shouldn't get it. Yes, young people should still get it. Again, I showed you the BS around myocarditis. So yes, get the vaccine, obviously, but it's crazy to see Trump here promoting the vaccine while calling out gutless Republicans.